up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Our Kind of People, Season 1, Episode 7. So let me say this. It's my understanding that this has been canceled. Let me say this, you guys. I know I had a lot of criticism for the show. My biggest criticism of the show was that I feel like everything was just moving way too fast. Like, I honestly feel like they gave us 5 seasons of storylines in one season. But do I think the show had great potential? I really did. I really feel like we should have slowed some things down. And I understand that in TV world, you don't always get an opportunity to slow things down. So I hate to see the fact that it was canceled. But we're going to go ahead and finish the season out. And maybe OWN will pick it up or something, child. I don't know. Queen Sugar ending over at the OWN. Maybe BET pick it up, BET Plus. I don't know. Let's talk about it, though. So we pick up everybody down to the hospital because, Teddy done, went down. And we open this episode up. We see Teddy walking along the beach in his white outfit, and we get to meet his brother, the infamous brother that we've been hearing about, but we haven't necessarily seen a whole lot of it. So we get to see his brother, and he's telling him how much he misses him. And the brother's like, "You look good," and it's all good. It's all good in the hood, right? And then I'm watching this scene, and I'm thinking, I thought they didn't like each other. I thought they didn't get along. I thought they had some sort of animosity there. But as the episode goes on, we start seeing the real. So that's that initial, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. And then as the episode goes on, we're going to get into it. Some other things, we learn some things. So, he starts clutching his chest, talking about how much pain he's in. And then we see that he is in the hospital. He's actually in, like a coma. I'm not sure if it was a medically induced or not, but he's not awake. He's not conscious. So, we know this is a dream, right, that he's having in his head. And, of course, it's that whole, should I stay or should I go? Should I cross over or should I go back? That. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, we've seen it in movies and TV shows before. Now, down to the hospital, everybody there. And when I say everybody there, I mean everybody there, including Angela baby daddy. Nicole, Nikki is there. And, of course, that is what she has to face. This is her daddy, the ex-con, where he come from. You told me I didn't have no daddy. And all of this is going down in the waiting room to the emergency room. And Nikki was like, listen, I'm not doing this right here. I'm not doing this right now. And she rolls out. Peggy going following her, honey. And the doctor comes out and, of course, the doctor's going to get the next of kin. So they get ready to take the other daughter back there. And Angela was like, I want to go too. And in my mind, I'm thinking, on one hand, I get it. That is your daddy. But on the other hand, girl, you ain't known him 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if I would have felt as bold as Angela did in pushing my way through and going back. But the other daughter was very gracious because she let her comment. I don't know if I would have been. I'm just going to be real with y'all. I don't know if I'd have been like, you sit out here with the rest of the people. I'll let y'all know what it is. But neither here nor there. They do go back there and they have a moment. They sort of have a little moment. And I feel like they're starting to bond. With them, it's hot and cold. One minute they seem to be getting along. The next minute, they don't like each other again. So it seems to run a little hot and cold. But we'll get there. So, there was a moment where, her baby daddy tells her, he got me out of jail and he's doing all of this for me. He's letting me stay at the compound. So he must really care about you. Not, we all know that Teddy was just making a play. Like, this was all strategic on his part. He was just making a play. This was never about really getting close to his daughter or building a relationship with his daughter. But don't nobody know that. And he in a coma. He can't tell nobody. So, whatever. So the family goes back to the house, and listen, I'm going to go ahead. I know I be nitpicking, y'all. I know I be nitpicking, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to just let it move forward. But y'all live on a compound, right? A compound. So I'm sure there are gates. I'm sure there's security. Well, we done already talked about the lack of security. But neither here nor there. I know there are gates. How are the reporters just on your front porch? They are chilling on, when I say on the front porch, I mean they are on the front porch. And I'm like, okay. Like, you just gonna be chilling on the front porch. But neither here nor there. So then here come the ex-wife, now she got on her reporter hat and she's asking questions about the condition of Teddy and what the future holds for the group, for the organization, because of course she's a money reporter. So she's coming from the angle of reporting it from the money side. And of course, old girl, wifey looked back at her and was like, girl, I know you're not sitting up here on this front porch talking to me. Like, I know you bet not. You bold as hell. But anyway, so they roll on. And so next morning, we have Chocolate Thunder, a.k.a. Lance Gross, and he went to go by to see Angela. And he kind of blaming himself. He was like, I was confronting, Teddy when the whole thing went down. And he said, I feel bad, but Teddy was lying to my face. Like, I know my dad. He tried to say that my dad committed suicide, but I know my dad. My dad wouldn't do that. My dad wouldn't shoot himself. Like, that wasn't his character. That's just not how he would have went out. So I know it's a lie. I know that ain't, I know it just ain't true. So then we see Leah and Raymond, Leah was wife, okay. Leah and Raymond having a conversation. Quincy's on his way home. He's the grandson / their son. He stayed with his daddy overnight at the hospital. And she was like, that is just so sweet of him. That I'm so proud of him that he's just doing this. He's being a good son, whatever. And she said, I'm sick of these reporters out here. I'm going to just have to have me a whole press conference so I can go ahead and deal with it. And what's up with your ex-wife? Like, why is she here? What is her problem? Why is she bothering us? And he was like, well, she's angry. She's upset about the fact that our families paid her off to go away. And Leah is looking at him like, what? He said, yeah, I just found out about it. But, I hadn't really had a chance to, talk about it. And I was like, so, anyway. And so Leah is like, so now you telling me about it? Okay, whatever. They'll just give me something else I got to deal with. Fine, whatever. I'll handle it. So Angela comes to visit her baby daddy. And remember, he's staying at the compound. So she's driving through the reporters in her convertible with the top down. Ma'am, if you don't put that top up and roll them windows up, like, girl, you knew the reporters was there. And if you didn't know, you saw them before they saw you. Put that top up. Anyway, child. So she's going to visit the baby daddy, and he's explaining to her, how, knowing he had a daughter saved his life, and, he understands why she did what she did, and he doesn't hate her, and hopefully that she'll come around. And he says, that's why I started growing she saw that he was sleeping on the floor, and he was like, well, that's why I started growing my locks. I'm just so institutionalized, and that was really the only thing that I had control of in jail was my hair. But now I feel like it's time for something different. It's time to release that. Will you help me? And in the midst of everything that is going on, they have a whole hair ritual ceremony down to the beach. Now listen, when this happened, it was morning because she was bringing him breakfast. Next thing you know, it is nighttime and they're at a bonfire on the beach, cutting his locks and giving us the history of the hair from the African people. Now listen, I am here for a history lesson. I'm always down to learn more. Most of it I already knew, but I'm always down for the history lesson. But ma'am, your daddy is dying in the hospital, and you got time to be having hair rituals down to the beach? And again, y'all clearly had to wait 12 hours because it was morning time, and now it's dark. What the hell? So that was like a whole 10 minutes of the episode that I understand what they was doing. It was just ill-placed. Moving on. I feel like they could have gave us that at the end of the episode. But moving on. So then he has a journal that he said he's been keeping for the last 17 years that he's been locked up in jail, and he wants to give it to Nicole. Here's the thing. That journal look perfect. It looks like he literally just bought it from the CVS on his way home from jail. It don't look like a page is bent. It don't look like it don't have no coffee stains on it. It don't look... Listen, y'all, do better. Hell, my students know how to make paper look like parchment paper when they do projects and stuff. They used to come to school and it would look all nice. I mean, not nice, but it looked like it was all old and, you know, an old document when I had them doing like journals and stuff. They used to really get into it. I remember, I really miss those days of kids really getting into their projects and actually giving a damn. But that's another story for another time. So Angela agrees to take the journal to Nicole. So Angela goes to talk to Nicole, and she's trying to talk to him. Nicole is laying on the bed, crying. She is not hearing it. She is not here for it. And Angela's trying to explain to her why she did what she did and why she didn't tell her what happened, and that he's really a good man who made a bad decision. We was broke. You were a baby. He was trying to figure some things out. But Angela is not hearing it. She ain't trying to turn around. She ain't trying to have that conversation. And then Angela just leaves the journal on the desk. She don't say, and if she said it, I missed it. She don't say, come read the journal. Your daddy left you something. Girl, your daddy wants you to know who he is. But I might have missed that part. Maybe I did. I don't know. But it really don't matter because Nicole wasn't here for none of it. Nicole was like, girl, you didn't do all of that for me. You did that all for yourself. Because that's all you have ever done is done things to protect yourself. You and Mama Eve sat there and lied to me my whole life. And I'm just not feeling it. I'm not happy about it, and I ain't feeling it. So Angela eventually leaves her, like I said, leaves the journal on the bedstand, whatever. And she goes downstairs, and her Aunt Peggy, are looking at they looking at the news. And on the news, there's a press conference. Leia is having her press conference, and they, she's answering the questions. She's going really, going well. And then here come the ex-wife. She come asking questions once again about, the health of the company and whether Teddy is really sick and what's going on. I mean, how sick is he? And this, that, and the other. And then she gonna bring up, well, what's up with your sister having the ex-con and your daddy getting him out of jail? And I heard that he was dead. Do you think he had anything to do with your daddy getting sick? And, he was in jail for murder. And so just at that moment, that's when Nicole decided to come out the room, and she heard the conversation about the whole murder situation. So now Nicole mad all over again. She was like, murder. So now you, on top of him being in jail, he a murderer? That's what you telling me? So she turns around and runs back in her bedroom. Now Angie's mad. She like, see, it's one thing if you want to come down here and you want to mess with her, but what you're not going to do is mess with my baby girl. So she gets her stuff together, and she going down there to go find her and go have a conversation with her, okay? So she heads down, I don't know where her ass started. But, so Angela makes her way down to the hospital, and Leia is there with the daddy, and she's like, yo, where is the ex-wife at, okay? Because she came for my baby girl, and I'm not here for it. And Leia was like, girl, she is relentless. And I can use a little bit of backup. She said, well, let's do this. And while they getting ready to come to some sort of a truce, Teddy starts crashing, right? So they using the little, the machine boom, the little boom machine to try to bring him back to life. And then we flash back to another scene with his brother. And they are at their father's funeral. And Teddy is like, oh, you were always his favorite. He was like, nope. He was like, let's be clear. Daddy made all the mistakes on me. And what you saw as him always touting me and holding me in high regard was really his way of making amends, knowing that he truly screwed it up in raising me. Let's be clear, you were actually his favorite. He might have been harder on you, or you might have felt like he was harder on you, but that's because you were the one that he saw himself in the most. So they had to have that whole conversation. So then we see Raymond and Alex having a conversation down to the car. And Raymond is like, girl, I done told you why you coming for my wife and coming for my family. You are here to ruin Teddy. That is it. That is all. You do not go through my wife to do it. And she was like, but how I'm going to ruin Teddy without getting to your wife because she running the company? Teddy's sick. Teddy is in the hospital. Teddy ass is dying. You want me to ruin him, but she's the one running the company. She's the face of the company. And of course, we know it's personal. Like, let's be clear. We know it's personal. You know it's personal. But he was like, she was like, I don't know how you want me to separate the two. She was like, don't you still want me? And then she leans over and kisses him. And he let the kiss linger a little bit longer than I'm comfortable with. But he did eventually push her away and tell her, no. I told you I love my family. I told you I want my family. And I'm going to need you to back up off me, right? Now, before this scene had happened, I missed the part where Raymond is comforting baby girl Lauren, and ex-con is telling them how lucky they are, how lucky you are to have a relationship with your father. And it was just crazy. I felt like it was just an unnecessary scene. And Raymond is like, yo, bro, man, thank you, man. And listen, you don't got to tiptoe around here. You a guest. You a guest in this house. You can do whatever you want. And I'm thinking to myself, I just don't know how realistic that would be. The average person would not be chilling, having some dude they never met, don't know nothing about. All you know is that he just got out of jail for murder or some bullshit that you ain't had nothing to do with. That's going to be, and you living in this multi-million-dollar compound, and you be like, make yourself at home, bruh. Like, I don't know how realistic that is. And we can sit here and talk all we want about you know, oh, we want to give, you know, ex-cons a second chance and da-da-da-da. But let's be real. Most of us would be like, I'm giving you the side eye and I'm making sure the cameras are turned on at all times. Let's just be real about it. You don't know this man. Don't know him. Now, Angela had given Sexual Chocolate some good advice and said, listen, if you don't believe the stories that Teddy told you about your daddy, then why don't you go find some of your daddy's friends and go talk to them. And maybe now that you have a little bit more information, maybe you can get a little more clarity on what did or did not happen. So Tyreek rolls himself down to the compound and he's talking to, I guess she's the head of housekeeping. Okay, we see her giving a whole speech we see her giving a speech to the house. And he says, listen, she said, you know, it's good to see you and all that good stuff. He said, listen, I found some information on my daddy and Teddy tried to tell me my daddy committed suicide. And I just need to know from you, like, you know better than I know, so I just need to know from you what it is, what it ain't, and what it would be. And she said, listen, your daddy ain't killed himself, and I really don't have a whole lot more information, but you really need to go talk to his best friend. Now, I'm going to call him Sam. I don't remember his name, but we're going to call him Sam. You really need to go talk to his best friend. No, she said his best friend would know. And so Tyreek was like, well, where can I find him? And she was like, you can't, he dead. But what you can do is talk to his girlfriend. His girlfriend know everything. And he was like, all right, well, where's she at? She was like, oh, you know who she is? Aunt Peggy. So Tyreek was like, what? She said, yeah, she know where all the bodies are buried, literally, okay? But she was like, yeah, she know way more than she lets on. And if it's anything to know, she knows it, okay? And so he's like, damn, word? Okay, cool. So later on, we see him roll up on her. And, of course, she tried to play like she don't know nothing. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I dated a lot of men back in the day. Like, she was like, listen, that was a wild summer, okay? I dated a whole lot of people back in the day. Okay, I don't know. He might just been another. Now, basically, she let herself, let on that she was a hoe just to get out of having to admit that she knew who this man was. Okay? But baby, as soon as he left, she packed herself a good bag and she got out of town and she left Angela a note saying, I'm going back to Boston. I will be back when I get back. Okay? Don't follow me, don't call. Okay? I said, ooh, Piggy. Now back down to the hospital, Raymond gets out the car after having this illicit kiss with Alex. Now, they were in a car that had a whole tinted window situation, but yet somehow Angela saw them kiss. And Angela is peeping it. So later on in the episode, Angela, Leah, and Raymond are all on the elevator, and she goes straight Solange on him, okay? And she starts whooping his ass down to the elevator. Now, they kept going and showing us that this was being videotaped, so I feel like at some point, the videotape of her whooping Raymond's ass is going to make some sort of CNN, TMZ situation, but neither here nor there. She proceeds to whoop his ass and then let Leah know, I saw him downstairs kissing up on Alex. What's that about? Why you down there? You sleeping with the enemy? What's good? You got something to do with her coming for my daddy? Coming for my daughter? What's going on? And he was like, it is not what you think it is. Like, I'm going to need you to calm the fuck down. I need you to keep your hands to yourself. It is not what you think it is. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing. I didn't bother nobody. Please let me tell you what it was and what's going on. So he tries to plead his case to Leah. And Leah is like, so wait a minute. Let me So let me get this straight. You want her back to town. You asked her to come back. Like, she's here because of you. Because you want your damn company back. Bruh. I'm going to need you to pack a bag. I'm going to need you to go ahead and get you a suite down to the Ritz, the Waldorf, the Hilton, the Hampton Inn, wherever, whoever, and however. I'm going to need you to make it happen. That's what I'm going to need you to do, okay? Now, while all of this is going on, Lauren goes to visit Nikki. And Lauren is like, listen, girl, I know that we ain't always been friends. I mean, I know I tried to sabotage you down to the cotillion. I tried to allow you when I tried to, blame you for Taylor going overboard on that boat. I know I have done some things. But listen, I know you got this whole new daddy thing going. And I just want you to know that having a relationship with your dad is important and it's special. And I think you need to get his dude a chance. He seems like a really cute guy. Seems like a really nice guy. He's roaming around the estate. He's really nice. He speaks. All that good stuff. And so she says, well, he did leave me his journal. And she said, well, you want me to read it? So she reads the journal to her, and the journal entry is all about holding a baby. And, you were 3 pounds, 6 ounces. And it's a poem about being 3 pounds, 6 ounces. And Nicole gonna say, he's talking about me. Girl, who do you think he was talking about? Of course he's talking about you, man. So she decides now, after she done read that he wrote a poem about her, that she's ready to meet him and she's ready to talk to him. Okay. So they meet down to the beach. And Angela and the three of them. And then he says, that you think it'll be okay if, we go for a walk? And Angela was like, sure. Yeah, go for a walk. Go ahead. And they're walking down the beach and they're talking and, it's cool. Now, while all this is going on, Alex then rolled up on some intern down to the hospital, and she's trying to get some information on Teddy. And, of course, he gives it to her because he recognizes her from TV, and he's awestruck, and he's all, oh, can we take a selfie? She was like, I'll give you a selfie if you give me what I need. Now, at the beginning of the episode, when Angela first went in the back to talk with Teddy, she found out he had Parkinson's. Okay, so she was like, okay, well, why you ain't tell me? Girl, what do you mean why I ain't tell you? You wasn't even a factor. You were a absolute non-factor. Why would I tell you that my daddy got Parkinson's? So then we have another flashback of Teddy talking to his brother. And this conversation get a little deeper. And they start talking about, they bring up Eve. And he lets him know that he's got a, daughter with Eve. And he was like, oh, really? And let me guess, you did what you always do. You kind of, you hid her away. You kicked her to the curb because she was inconvenient for what it was you were trying to do. And he was like, don't judge me. Don't judge me. And he was like, ain't nobody trying to judge you. I'm just letting you know, like, I see you and I see you for your works. He was like, but I built this company and I built myself up to be this. And I even end up building a stadium and I put your name on it. Like, is that selfish? She was like, I think that's sad. I think it's sad that you really feel like you did that. You did it for me. You did it for yourself once again. So Teddy was like, you know what? We're done here. And the brother was like, child, we only done one way. Like, if that's what you think, then whatever. So now Teddy is waking up, and the sisters, after the fight on the elevator, the same intern that was talking to Alex, came and got them to come and see their daddy because he's waking up. Baby, he wakes up, and they all like, oh, so good, daddy. Oh, we so happy to see you, daddy. Oh, thank you, daddy. Yay, daddy. But baby, all Teddy sees the next day is his brother with a gunshot directly to his forehead. I said, oh man. So that's the episode, y'all. We're gonna see where it is and what it is and what it's gonna be. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.